2 o'clock in the morning in London, and the world is quiet. No coups, no assassinations, no new crises to rock the currency markets. Now Richard's boss, Chris Pavlou, has arrived.
I fancy a big one sandwich, don't you? Go on, Wayne. You big one sandwich?
I'll have a decent cup of coffee.
Eh?
I'll have a decent cup of coffee.
Are you going to organise it then?
Chris Pavlou used to be one of the world's biggest sterling dealers, but now, pushing 40, he knows he's too old for the game that he loves.
There's nobody on that desk. It's over 35. People start in their early 20s for about 10 years, and by the time they reach their very early 30s, they had about enough. As you can see now, the market is having a small breather, but the dealers cannot afford to lose their concentration for 1 minute. They started at 7 o'clock this morning. They're going to be here at 5 o'clock. And the market, whether it's quiet or busy, they've got to keep the adrenaline going. They've got to make sure the concentration is there, just in case the market decides to erupt.
Now, with Richard's opening gambit over, an even bigger player is entering the market, trying to buy £20 million with its Deutschmarks. Perhaps it needs these millions to buy a lot of British goods, but more likely the Russian, otherwise known as Boris, in reality the Bank of Foreign Trade Moscow, is speculating that the pound will rise. Richard calls Moscow direct to find out what's going on, prefacing his message with the customary, "Hi, friends." They could easily be bluffing him. They could be buying a little to push the price up before selling a lot.
This might be the right time. John, I think the Russians buying sterling marks elsewhere now.
But Richard guesses that they must be buying from other banks too, in a big operation, as the pound begins to rise.
Max, you hear that? Richard thinks Boris is buying sterling marks elsewhere.
So he decides to risk jumping on their bandwagon, using the other traders to ring out and get prices so they can hit the market with tens of millions as quickly as possible.
50-55. We're going to go and buy a bit of sterling. Looks like everybody in the market might be a bit short of sterling. It doesn't want to go down. 58.63. Take 5.
His first £5 million, and with each wave, he buys another £5 million.
Quickly, it's going to go up in a second.
58.68.
A grimace as the price rises.
57.64.
Take 5.
57.64.
Take 5.
What position do I run in for 58.63?
Take 5.
58.65.
Take 5. That'll do. That'll do.
He's bought £35 million. Richard and the Russians between them have helped the pound up half a cent. But now taking the profit proves irresistible, so Richard starts selling.
If you're looking for an offer, you've got it.
If you're looking for an offer, you've got to sell him at 80-85. How many years? 20 points probably.
Between 80 and 90, I want to sell.
Sorry.
1995.
Yours! Yes.
87.97.
A brief speculative bubble has burst, but Richard has won again.
As you saw, we bought £35 million, so we went up 30 points. We decided to take our profit.
How much money did you make on that little
I don't know, to be honest. £75,000.
How much?
About £75,000.
That took you about half a minute. The price just
Took about 3 minutes. 80-85.
He's the best in the world because he has learned his trade the hard way. He started getting the sandwiches when he was in his early 20s, and he was kicked about by the other dealers, and he has no ego whatsoever. If he's wrong, he knows he's wrong, he will cut out, and he will say, I had enough, I'm not going to beat the market, and he's there to work for Barclays Bank, not for his ego, and that's why he's so good.
64. After